into this offseason and whenever we kick basketball back up, it's not going to be easy for the reigning two-time now NBA MVP and now the NBA Defensive Player of the Year, Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek Freak of the Milwaukee Bucks, had another spectacular regular season. In my estimations, he was the MVP. I know there are a lot of people out there that say, yo, LeBron was really the real MVP. Harden was really the real MVP. No. If you actually took the time to watch the basketball that was played this season, Giannis Antetokounmpo, night in, night out, was the best player on the best team. I know it's the Eastern Conference, but Giannis went out and did exactly what he was supposed to do every night, for the most part, available for his team. There are going to be people who are going to be like, yo, LeBron should have won MVP. Well, I'll tell all the LeBron fanatics this. If you believe LeBron should have won MVP this year over Giannis, then I would tell you maybe LeBron shouldn't have won a couple of his MVPs that he won in Cleveland. LeBron got 4 MVPs. A couple of them in Cleveland, a couple of them in Miami. Here's the reality of the situation. If you don't believe Giannis is the MVP this year, you don't respect what LeBron did in Cleveland. It's pretty much the same conversation. It's the same conversation. Giannis, the number one on his team, on offense, defense. His number 2 is a top 20, top 25 guy. He didn't have the luxury of having Anthony Davis. He didn't have the luxury of having LeBron James. He was the guy night in, night out. Now, when it came to the postseason, Giannis struggled a lot. I know he got injured second round versus the Miami Heat, but even when Giannis was healthy, he couldn't find spots to get a shot up. He couldn't get to the rim. Miami built a brick wall between Crowder, Butler, Adebayo and company. It was tough on Giannis. And we saw, again, that if you can't knock a jump shot down in this league, you cannot dominate a series in 2020. That is the reality of the situation. And Giannis cannot, at this stage in his career, consistently knock down a jumper. And if that is the case next year, guess what? The Bucks are going home again. But if the Bucks go home again next season, it could be potentially Giannis' last time going home in Milwaukee. As after next year, Giannis is a free agent to be, and the questions will start. The conversation will be different for Giannis this summer and obviously next year. Will he remain in Milwaukee? Will he opt to go elsewhere? Will he stay? I'll tell you guys this. People say Giannis maybe's a B guy. He can win all the regular season MVPs, but I don't, people say they don't believe he's an A guy. I disagree with that. I do believe Giannis Antetokounmpo is a number 1 option in the league. But I'll compare him to Shaq. And Shaq has even said this in the past. He said if he were around in 2020, he would be Giannis Antetokounmpo. I don't agree with a lot with what Shaq says on Inside the NBA. If you want me to be honest with you, I don't believe he adds a lot of value to the conversation most nights. But I will give him this. I think Giannis is as close to Shaq we've seen. Dominant in the regular season. Not a great free throw shooter. Giannis is even better than what Shaq ever was on defense, even at Shaq's best, when he was athletically in his prime. The difference between Giannis and Shaq is Shaq had a post move. Giannis does not. Any night Shaq could lead the Lakers. Any night Giannis can lead the Bucks. But Shaq had Kobe. Shaq had Penny. Shaq had Dwayne Wade. Giannis does not. I believe Giannis could be a 1, or maybe you want to call him a 1A. But he is going to need a matching piece. In my estimations, Giannis does not need to go out and get a James Harden, an Anthony Davis, a LeBron James. But I do believe some of the premier B+, A- level guys can complete the Greek Freak. A Bradley Beal comes to mind. A Chris Paul comes to mind. Donovan Mitchell. Jason Tatum. Any of these guys that are going to be all-stars in the league for years to come can get you a bucket in the clutch, but also allow Giannis, when he has it rolling, be the guy to drive you home to the finish line. I believe that's what Giannis Antetokounmpo needs. And that's similar to what Shaq needed. Would Shaq have ever won a ring by himself? I don't believe so. Not without a premier guard like a Penny, a Kobe, or a D-Wade. Was Shaq still known as a 1 or a 1A? Absolutely. Most people have Shaq in their top 10 all time. I know I do. He's my best big of all time. Not named Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Giannis can be a 1 in this league. I'm telling you he can. But he's going to need a 1A. He's going to need some help. And it's Milwaukee's job to get him some help before it's too late. It's my one life, and I give it everything I got. I am music. I am sports. I am the culture.